Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome back to the Intuitive Creators Podcast, where we talk all things creative, spiritual, and soul led. I'm your host, Mandee Rose, a yoga teacher, intuitive reader, artist, and passionate guide for creative entrepreneurs who are done with hustle culture and ready to build a life of aligned flow and purpose. Today's episode is called Free Doesn't Equal Exposure. And if you're a creative, healer, or service-based entrepreneur, you probably need to hear this message more than once. Let's be real. So take a couple breaths, get grounded, and let's dive in. The myth of exposure. You know what I'm talking about. That email, DM, or comment that says, "We don't have a budget, but this is a great opportunity for exposure." Right. They're hoping your gifts will elevate their project, platform, or event, while you're left exhausted, underappreciated, and unseen. And here's what I've personally learned. People who truly value your work will find a way to honor it, whether that's financial compensation, energetic reciprocity, or mutual collaboration. Saying yes to every exposure opportunity keeps you in a cycle of scarcity, where you're constantly chasing validation instead of owning your worth. You deserve to be seen, yes, but not at the expense of your energy, your time, or your self-respect. And maybe years ago, you'd have jumped on it. I know I did. I've said yes to free shoots, free tarot readings, free design work, free workshops, all with the hope that somehow, magically, the right person would recognize me. But here's the truth, and I'm saying it with love. Exposure doesn't pay your bills. You can't deposit exposure into your bank account. You can't buy groceries with networking. And often the people asking for free work under the guise of exposure aren't even investing in themselves. They want your value without offering value in return. My friends, no. The energy of exchange. Let's zoom out for a second here. As spiritual entrepreneurs, we don't just create products or services. We hold space, we channel energy, we tap into divine wisdom, we guide healing and transformation. And energy must be exchanged. That's how energy works. When somebody receives without giving, it creates an imbalance. That imbalance shows up in resentment, burnout, and misaligned relationships, not just in business, but in life. You are not here to be a martyr for your gifts. You're here to be a vessel, a teacher, a guide. And when you honor your worth, others learn to honor it too. When to say yes and when to say no. This doesn't mean you never offer free value. That's not what I'm talking about. You're probably already doing that with every Instagram post, every video, every podcast episode like this one. But if someone's asking you to show up, customize your magic for them, put in time and energy, then it needs to be an equal exchange. So ask yourself, does this truly feel aligned? Am I giving from overflow or from obligation? Is this opportunity respecting my gifts or extracting from them? You can feel the difference. One energizes you, the other leaves you depleted and questioning your worth, which is not okay. Trust that saying no to what drains you creates space for what genuinely honors you. Boundaries are not walls, they are sacred containers for your energy, your purpose, and your joy. You don't need to prove your value by giving it all away. Your worth is inherent, not transactional. So I'm going to offer you something that may stick in your mind. It's my hope it will. But take it or leave it. Aligned free can feel expansive, but forced free, that's soul draining. Protecting your gifts and time. Let's say it together. I am worthy of being paid well for my magic. Whether you're reading tarot, teaching yoga, leading retreats, or making art, it is work. It is spiritual, it is emotional, and energetic labor, and it deserves respect. You get to set your boundaries. You get to say, this is my rate. I'm not available for unpaid opportunities right now. Thank you, but I only collaborate where there's mutual energy exchange. These are all valid statements and acceptable answers and responses. And if someone walks away because of that, let them. The right people will honor your rates, not haggle them. You didn't come here to beg for scraps. You came to embody your purpose and be supported in it. Every time you hold a boundary, you anchor a new timeline where your work is valued. Protecting your time and gifts isn't selfish. It's sacred stewardship. So I'm going to give you two practices here. The first one is the mirror mantra. Each morning, look into the mirror and say aloud, my gifts are powerful. My work creates transformation. I am worthy of receiving. And then say it until you believe it. Say it as many times as you need. Another great practice is the energy check-in. Before saying yes to any opportunity, pause. Place a hand on your heart and ask, is this energizing me or depleting me? Let your body, not guilt, be your guide. I promise you, energy does not lie. So I want to be really honest here and kind of give some general thoughts. Part of this podcast, or the episodes that I record here, are heavily written out because I'm literally channeling messages from spirit. But part of it, I want to kind of just allow myself the freedom to talk, right? Kind of let things flow in the moment and be present in the subject that I'm talking about. I have been an entrepreneur closing on 17 years. I have been doing it around the age of 19 years old. Yep, 19 years old. 2008. Holy crap. That's a long time. And in this time, I am absolutely confident in talking about this subject because I have done this to myself so many times. I've worked through my self-worth a lot, and more actively in the last 5 or 6 years. So I have a wealth of experiences and knowledge on the subject. Most of it's not positive, right? Because we live in a world where value is just, it's so different between different people. Everybody's value system is just, it's very unique to them. And it's really based on their own personal lived experiences. So scarcity, which was talked about a little bit earlier, it is a real thing. So your mindset is the most powerful tool that you can have as an entrepreneur. Let's be real here, it's a huge tool. So you're only as powerful and successful as your mindset. This is why working on those things is really, really helpful for you to move forward with more clarity and more grounding energy. And I say that because that's how we flow, and that's how we're able to create from our intuition. That's why I called it the Intuitive Creators. This is the name of this podcast actually had came to me a few years back. And if I'm being honest, I second guessed it, like hardcore. Second guessed the heck out of this idea and didn't go forward with it because I really didn't feel confident within my own abilities. With that said, though, I am now at a place where I feel more worthy of the things that I'm doing and the things that I am asking for. So within this realm, I feel more like, I don't really doubt the idea anymore. I think it's amazing. Honestly, I feel so soul-led to create these episodes, and I enjoy every moment of it. Recording, just being present in the moment of the subjects. And I think for a long time I've been searching for an outlet like this. So I'm truly grateful. But when we go into this subject, it's one that I really could talk about on so many different topics within self-worth, and just like the offering yourself for free without anything in exchange. I will have other episodes where I'll talk about this more in depth, and hopefully with some some guests. I have some people in mind, but we'll talk about that a little in a moment, because it's very exciting. So I hope today's podcast episode served as a loving reminder of your worth, right? You're not here to convince people to value you. You have to do that for your own self. You're here to embody your own value. And the right people will feel that. They will feel that presence within you. So if you loved this conversation, share it with a fellow creator or healer. Let's rewrite this narrative that free is the price we have to pay to be seen. And if you want to go deeper with me, check the show notes because I'm starting to add those, which is great. I offer one-on-one sessions, and we work through personal blockages and things. So I have soul sessions if you're interested, and then different guided practices through guided meditation. I have that on Insight Timer if you're familiar with that app. Amazing. And these will help you root into your power and purpose. With that said, before I completely leave you, if anyone is interested in being a guest on this podcast, I want to open it up to anyone and everyone. Please reach out to me, either on social media, via email, wherever you can find me. Maybe it's a comment on YouTube. I don't know. But let's connect, because I want to interview so many people. I want to gain perspectives on what it's really like to be an entrepreneur and a creative. So until next time, stay grounded, stay golden, and never forget how powerful your presence truly is. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.